How's it going, everyone? It's Jeremy J, and I'm at you with another video. My speech feels pretty much normal now, 95% of the way there. My brain is still kind of off. I can feel it. I get these little periodic, especially at night, these kind of little jabs or jolts of pressure or electricity, but overall I'm making progress. My body still feels weak. I feel like I need to get a 12-hour night's sleep, load up on some passion flower and green tea and some melatonin and whatever else. And I bet if I get a good night's sleep for like 12 hours, I'll get most of my energy back. I want to share something with y'all, and it's how I track myself every day and how I rank myself. And I want to show you how I did last year and how I'm doing this year, and I'm going to show it to you. I'm going to move my camera. So I have my computer here, so let's see how this goes. Move this over here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is explain my categories that I have. So the reason I have this spreadsheet, I've been doing it for about 1.5 years almost. The reason I have this spreadsheet is because when I was really sick with Lyme disease last year and I didn't feel like I was getting better, I was desperate. I was like, I'm gonna solve this scientifically, systematically. And so I took stock of all the parts of my body that were having an issue. My brain was having headaches and these Zapp's feelings. My mouth was having cold sores and cuts, and tongue was having sores, and gums were bleeding and sensitive. My heart was a little off, blood pressure was high, my gut was in disarray. I was having trouble digesting food. My muscles were sore and achy and weak. My nervous system overall was jittery. My energy and stamina was really low. My emotional state was not good. I was depressed. And so I just went through a top to bottom list of symptoms and broke down and just categorized them underneath a certain area. Let's see if there's anything I missed. And my skin. So skin was another one, because I'd get these spontaneously bleeding lesions on my skin. And I knew that when I wasn't getting those, I must be doing something right. So I'm going to show you last year. Well, I'm going to show you how I did last year. And let me hang on a second. Let me get the chart pulled up for you. Okay, and make sure you can see the overall scores. Okay, see if you can see this. Okay. All right, there's the chart from beginning of the year to the end of the year. So let me explain these numbers 0 through 10. If I'm ever at a 0 or a 1, I'm dead. I'm pretty much dead if my overall score is there. Between a 0 and 4, I'm probably hospitalized or really crippled and needing to be taken care of. At a 4 to a 6, I'm not doing well at all. I'm chronically sick. Can't hardly move. My brain can't think. I can't talk very well. From a 6 to an 8, I start to become functional. And as I approach an 8, I start to become above average and starting to have some zest to life. And the 8 to 10 range is approaching godlike human status, or just godlike status and energy and everything. So I'm going to explain what everything means, the different categories that make up all that. So let me turn back to y'all, get more in the light. So category 1, here, I'll put it right here so I can read them and still be in the view. So the first category is energy. How much energy do I have? Like energy and stamina is pretty straightforward, I think. And a 1 is like I'm a slug that is just a pile of goo in bed. And I can't hardly move my body. I'm basically a vegetable, a dead vegetable. And all the way up to a 10, which is a 10 of energy. The highest level of energy for me is I am the Energizer Bunny. I can run, walk, jump, skip around effortlessly. I can stay out dancing until 2 a.m., not feel tired. I feel amazing and refreshed in the morning. So to me, that means I can just run 5Ks easily. I can go jog and hike for 5 miles, no problems, and it's easy. Right now I'm at between a 7 and an 8 on energy. I'm at a 7 right now. I was at a 5 earlier last week when I started to relapse, and that means my energy is getting very low. I'm tired and weak, and it's hard to get out of bed, and at a 4 I need to use a cane. So I was at a 5. I was getting close to needing a cane, but fortunately I think the juicing and some things have helped bring me back. The next category is my mind and my head. So a 1 for my mind and head is I have constant brain zaps and seizures and inability to speak. I can only mumble. My brain is a vegetable. That's pretty bad. And then all the way up, there's more. Like I'll show you this right here. Well, the text is kind of hard to read, but there's 1 through 10 on each of these, and each number scale has different levels. So a 10 for mind head means my mind feels exceptional. I can mentally process anything with great ease. I feel nearly omniscient. So it means no problems, no pressure, no headaches, an amazing feeling, clairvoyant omniscience. And a 7, there's a description for a 7 and an 8. So at any day, I have so much information that I can rate myself very easily. Like the 7 through 8 ranges, my mind is functioning well, memory recollection is good, I can do my job at work decently well, and I still might have an occasional brain zap or fogginess. And that's where I'm at right now with my mind, is at a 7, because I still get these zaps, and they started when I was relapsing last week. Muscles, tendons, infrastructure. How fit and strong is my body? Like, how muscular am I getting? How are my tendons? Are my injuries healing? Can I see definition in the mirror of muscles? This one is getting close to an 8, actually. This one has been a problem for me, but I've been able to work out steadily, minus the last kind of 5 days or so, 5 or 6 days. And I'm starting to see some real muscle definition, and most of my bodily injuries have healed, minus a slight, my wrist that I hurt last year still hurts a little bit, but everything else is feeling pretty good. And so that's putting me at almost an 8. I'm at a 7 right now, but let me share with you the 1 and the 10 on this. A 1 for my infrastructure is, and muscles and tendons, is I am weak and lifeless. I cannot move at all without assistance. And a 10 is my body is incredibly fit and strong, at or near Olympic level shape. Body weight, mass, and muscle are about as good as I can be. I feel strong and can move and push anything heavy without difficulty. I see major muscle definition, and my ligaments and tendons are strong and connective and feel no pain. So to me, I want to be able to look in the mirror. I want to see that I'm ripped. I want to be able to lift weights and do pull-ups and curls and everything else and feel no issues. That's a 10, and I'm close to an 8 right now. So I'm actually pretty happy with this category, and I think NoFap and my testosterone coming up have actually made a difference, because usually I've been at about a 6 here, just knee issues and my wrist issue and some kind of neck, just things not healing, but my testosterone going up seems to have accelerated healing in my body. That's interesting to me. Like, and my immune system being online. So that's really cool. Next is my nervous system. 1 through 10 scale for this. Typically I'm about a 7 or an 8 here. Right now I'm at a 7, which means there's some minor issues right now. I was at a 5 here last week when I was relapsing, and I'll read what 1 through 10 is and the 5 to 6 scale that I have. A 1 is I have constant nerve pain, numbness, tingling, and zaps throughout my body. My nervous system is causing me shakiness all over. It's not good. It's like late stage Parkinson's, ALS. I don't even ever want to get close to that. A 5 to 6 on this scale, and a five is approaching really, really bad. Like, it means I'm having nerve issues happening off and on, and I feel jittered and can be startled easily. If I get down to a 4, it means my nerves are constantly jittery and I feel very shaky, which means I'm getting close to what it would be like to have Parkinson's disease or ALS or some kind of nervous system disorder. So anytime any of these categories gets below a 7, it's like red alert in my mind. Like the siren's going off, and I immediately start 100% like implementing. And I have different things for these categories. Like there's things that help my nervous system, like yoga, meditation, stretching, magnesium. There's things that I can take for my nervous system, and for my muscles and tendons, there's things that help, like heavy protein eating, certain supplements. Yoga, meditation, stretching, weight training, and juicing are a huge part of all of these categories. Next is my stomach. My stomach has had issues like digesting food, just grumbling, and stomach pain. I had my appendix taken out last year. The day my appendix got taken out, my stomach score was a 2. It was basically as bad as it can get without dying. If I ever have to put a 1 in a category, it means I'm losing that part of my body. Like a 1 in my mind is, I would say, like, even though I describe it, I should never have to put a 1 on a category, because that means I'm losing, that part of me is dead. But for a stomach, a 1 means I'm nauseous and I cannot eat anything. Even water is difficult to keep down. My stomach pain and discomfort is so severe that I cannot think straight, and I'm going to lose that organ. A 10 means I don't even realize my stomach is there. I can feed myself any kind of food and drink, and it digests easily. I have 1 to 3 perfectly S-shaped bowel movements a day. My stomach has been pretty good, actually. 8 to 9 on the scale. Right now it's at an 8. I'm having a little bit of just ever so slight distress because I'm flooding with so many juices, but usually it's at about a 9. So I've been able to get my stomach up there pretty good. And morning celery juice, taking bone broth and a probiotic and digestive enzymes was basically the 4 things that healed it for me. Skin, how clear is my skin? Are there any weird issues going on from bacteria, viruses, or otherwise? A 1 for skin means there's large amounts of rashes, cuts, bumps, cold sores, blisters, decaying looking. So not good. It basically means I'm like rotting. And a 10 means my skin is completely clear of any issues and feels wonderful and strong. My skin is at an 8 right now. Some ever so minor issues, but overall it's doing great. And I might even bump it up to a 9 because my skin is feeling actually really good right now. So mouth is the next one. How strong and clean is my mouth and my gums, and are there any infections able to get through? A 1 means I'm having constant cold sores, cuts and bumps, pain and bleeding everywhere, teeth needing to be removed. Like it's your worst nightmare your worst nightmare about teeth falling out and your gums. I don't even ever want to get close to that. I'm at an 8 right now, which has been hard to get to. Usually I'd been a 6 or 7 because I get some kind of cold sore or blister on my tongue or cut on my lip. Usually you can't see them in my videos unless I were to go like this and show you. No, most of the time you can't see. I can feel it, but usually you can't see it. If I ever get a big cold sore bump, I'll show you, but most of the time you can't see the little cuts and the bumps form on my tongue. But right now there's nothing. My gums feel pretty good. Lips feel clear, and this has been for over a week now. So because that's so rare, I know that NoFap is the only extra thing I'm doing now, so it has to be that. Unless my body just all of a sudden is more adept at handling the virus, I think NoFap is actually the reason for that. So that's been a nice reveal. A 10 means my mouth feels strong and clean, gums are firm and strong and pink with no tenderness, and there's nothing, no sign of anything. And I would even say my mouth is getting close to a 9 now, but there's just some ever so slight tenderness, not like a sore or anything, but slight tenderness still, but it's getting really good. And to help my mouth, I brush and floss twice a day, and I rinse my mouth. I don't eat sugar. I take zinc, monolaurin. Those are some of the things I do. I think I'm going to put NoFap in the immune system as like this umbrella for many of these categories. Next category is psychological. How well is my state of being in an emotional state? And my interaction with those around me in the world and my environment. A 1 means get help right away. It would mean I'm suicidal and am gonna go through with it. That's a 1. I should never even get close to 1. There's things I can do if I'm getting down on psychology. I'm at an 8 right now. By the way, an 8, 7 or an 8 on these categories means average normal to a little bit above average. And most of my categories now are 7 or an 8. When I was relapsing with Lyme disease last week, I had a 5 for my nervous system, a 5 for my energy, which means I'm starting to get in really danger zone. And thankfully, juicing has helped. A 7 or an 8 means I feel a overall sense of well-being and sense of peace and progress. There could still be hardships happening. I could even be crying a little bit about something, but overall I'm still feeling pretty good and peaceful, and that's where I'm at right now. A 10 means I feel exceptionally happy and present. I feel brightness like the sun, and continually share and uplift myself and others around me. I am incredibly congruent and truthful in all interaction. I've had a 10 in my psychology, a 10 out of 10, like maybe 3 times in the last year and a half. 3 or 4 times, and it's weird. I don't know what causes it, but usually there's been a lot of preparation beforehand with watching videos of superheroes, sport athletes like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, just constantly, and having this strong sense of being a winner in my brain, having a very clear intent, hours and hours and hours to some event, and then I go to that event and it's like I have this electrical charge, and it's like I have this magic wand. Like the 9 and a 10 in psychology, it's really strange, and I don't know if you guys and gals have experienced this before, but it's like you have a magic wand, and whoever I'm talking to, you'll know when I do a video if I'm close to a 10 in psychology, because you will see a very strong, firm, grounded presence. I will speak with authority and clarity. And I can think of a couple videos where I was at a 9 in the last couple months where I was just like, and that carries over to interactions. I just know exactly what I want, and I'm fearless in the pursuit of it. And it's mysterious, but when the 9 or 10 level is hit, I make happen what I want to have happen. Crazy. Getting relapsed with Lyme disease brought me down to a 5, 6 in psychology. Not good. That means I'm starting to feel really down and depressed and discouraged. And things that raise up my psychology are meditation, uplifting video and audio, juicing, supplements, talking to friends, family. So those are the 9, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 categories for 2020. Here's where I'm at right now. You can see that there's my relapse with Lyme disease, downward trend. Juicing brought me back up. Yeah, crazy. Last year when I was sick for a couple months, I was below a 6. I was like a 5.5 average, and I would walk into work. I'd have to take a cane to walk everywhere, and at work when I was going home, I would need to ask people to take me to my car because I could not walk to my car. It was a hard time, and when you saw me last week doing a video and I was stuttering, I was headed in that direction if I did not intervene. What's crazy about this is if someone is healthy, if you're healthy and you have no extra viruses and shit like I do, or Lyme disease, and I probably have other viruses and crap in me that cause issues, if you don't have that and you do all the things that I'm doing, you'll be a god. But it's interesting because the leverage and motivation to do these things also doesn't quite stick without the challenge. So if somehow you're able to proactively juice, take all the good supplements, prime your brain with powerful videos and audio regularly, and exercise 6 or 7 days a week, and gosh, like, wow, you're a force of nature. I salute you. So this is how I track myself. And if I were to, I have a thing of what helps universally for all the categories, and I'm going to put no fat, no masturbation and porn has helped. I can't deny it. And so I'm going to start with that, and then a whole food diet with plants and lean protein, juicing celery, apples, carrots, green smoothies, 8 to 9 hours of sleep a night, meditation and yoga, listening to uplifting videos and audio, key supplements, magnesium, a probiotic, vitamin D. There's about 20 others that I take, but I'm not taking most of them right now because I'm going to do a testosterone test to see if my supplements are influencing me. Regular exercise at the gym, lifting weights, hiking, sunlight, cardio. Those are the main things that help. In the end, it's like, oh, that's just kind of the simple, healthy things of life. Yes, a lot of these categories have specific supplements as well. Like there's supplements I can take for my brain, like something called Red Root, something called acetyl-L-carnitine, phosphatidylcholine. There's specific supplements that I can target some of my areas of my body with that I know help. All right, well, yeah, that's my categories and tracking, and hopefully some of that was interesting or helpful. This is like my longest video ever. If you have questions about supplements I take for different things, or want me to do a video to talk about anything more specifically, I'm happy to do that, but just wanted to do a deep dive with y'all on my spreadsheet every day. At the end of the day, I write numbers in for myself. All right, namaste. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.